Good evening. Call this meeting to order. Whereas there's a quorum of council present and time is 6 p.m. Be it resolved this regular meeting be open for business via Zoom and that the minutes of the regular meeting of March the 9th, 2022 be approved. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move.
Dale will move it and Pat will second it.
Correct.
Kevin, you for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor.
Pat?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Is Robert on on here?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
Good morning or good afternoon, Robert. There, you want to go ahead with your presentation there, and then we'll start asking you questions there, please.
Okay, can you guys all hear me? Perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, it won't take very long. First of all, I want to thank you, Mayor Gamble, and respective councilors for giving me this opportunity. I just want to make a little presentation in regards to what I think is a genuine concern, and that's the snow machine trail along Hunt Road and Cutler Lake Road. The mayor, in fact, was out for a tour, and so he'll know what I'm talking about, maybe more than the rest of you. And Kim advised me that you all have a copy of my presentation. I guess that's right.
Yep.
Okay. I thought I'd just maybe just take a minute or so and introduce myself. Some of you know me and some of you don't. My name's Rob Stanke. I've grew up in Massey. I left in 1969 and pursued a mining career. I went to college and university, and then I spent the last 40 years in mining, mostly in management. A big part of my career was around safety for the people that work for me and the operations that I looked after. And one thing I try to do is watch for safety related items. And this particular subject is one. Just a little bit, that's about all. That's where I come from. So I moved back into the Massey area about 14 years ago. I bought property at 15 Cutler Lake Road. Used to belong to the Buells. It's an old farm across from Lee Valley Hall. So what I want to talk about is the snow machine trail that, excuse me, that goes in front of my house, which I'm on Cutler Lake Road. And it goes along Hunt Road and Cutler Lake Road and makes its way up towards Moose Lake, I guess. About 3 years ago, I assume it was your council that gave permission to the Espanola Trail Plan to maintain a groomed trail along this area that I've just mentioned. In fact, the trail is located in the ditch area on Hunt Road. At the time, there was never any notification given to myself. I don't know about the rest of the people that live along the trail, but that was about 3 years ago. If you look at my report here, or my little paper that I put together, I'll just kind of use that as a guideline, if that's all right. This construction and use of the trail, to me, it's caused very serious safety problems. Also damage to the road, especially along Hunt Lake Road, mostly as abused by the groomer and the riders. And I guess what I want to make a presentation here is why this trail should be shut down. The trail was approved, as I said, without any discussion. That's neither here nor there with the adjacent property owners. I walk down Hunt Road every day, myself and my wife. And all the things that I'm going to tell you is what I see. So the users of the trail, they drive at excessive speeds most of the time. Some, I'm sure, in excess of 80 kilometers. I don't know for sure, but it's fast. The other thing is that the users of the trail, they'll use it at all times of the day and night, including 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, in the morning. I hear that. It goes right by my house. The one thing I'd like to refer to, I added a couple photographs. You have photo 1, and I'm going to refer to that now. This photo 1 is in reference to where the trail goes past a mailbox. It's on Hunt Lake Road, and it's right in front of a family of 9 children. And where you see the little arrows, that's where the trail goes, right dead past that mailbox. And that's the road that I walk on most of the time. And I've seen a lot of operators going very fast there. And I've also seen children walking the road, and I've seen them picking up their mail. As I said out here in item number 5, I'm not the only person. It's my wife, and I've seen Mennonite children on there. And then there's right across from this mailbox, there's another house, and those people walk on the road also. Pretty well encounter drivers most days, and they rarely slow down. Occasionally some do, but most of them don't. And on several occasions, I've actually moved out of the roadway because they jump onto the road off the trail. The other thing that I wanted to bring up on this is that this trail is used mostly by Espanola people, to my estimation, because the trail comes from Espanola and it goes past the road here, and it circles back and hits Espanola again. The Massey people go on that trail just across from the Spanish River Bridge. Any questions at this point? Am I going too fast? Nobody?
No, go ahead, Robert.
Okay, I'll just finish. Sorry?
No, go ahead, Robert.
Okay. So anyway, that's the part about the trail. The other part is that I've never seen a patrol of that trail by the people that operate it or the police. I did report some damage to the road to your works foreman earlier in the winter when the groomer was on the road, and he's a pretty heavy machine. I think it's worth several $100,000, and he was roughing up the road. The other thing that I noticed that the groomer has done is damaged a lot of the culverts. In fact, picture number 2 here shows a mailbox further down Hunt Lake Road, and that mailbox has been hit since I took this picture. I noticed that last year, your maintenance group did a lot of work on that road. They did an excellent job on the ditches, and they raised the level of the road. And I think it's just not right to have a trail there for that matter alone, but the other part is the safety. So that's my concern. I would like to see that trail, the permission rescinded to the Espanola Trail Plan. I can't see it doing any benefit to, especially the Massey people, but to other people, and it's just a big safety hazard. In fact, not on that trail, but we did have a fatality in our area this year on snow machine trails. So that's my concern. I think I've fairly well covered it. And is there any questions, comments?
I just want to have one question, Mr. Stanky. So you said that you think that mailbox was hit by the groomer?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, thank
I
you.
walk there every day, and I saw the day that was hit. No, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't say that, but
Well,
where it's located, it's closer to the trail than to the road. So you could see it was hit by something. Now, maybe it wasn't a groomer. It could have been another snow machine. But it was quite a substantial installation. It's made with a steel post and wood.
Yeah, well, it's obvious
And it's
that
laying
there was somebody on the snow machine trail, whether it was the groomer or a snow machine, but probably was the groomer. So.
And that's not my number one concern, though. My number one concern is the safety thing, the noise thing. And I think the municipality should be concerned about some of the damage. You can see when the snow goes away where the culverts have been hurt. And besides, it's a good ditch. It provides good drainage. And you did an excellent job. And I'm sure you spent at least $100,000. I don't know how much on that road. but a good amount of money. And it's in good shape.
Mhm.
So that's, does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
But Robert, one of the concerns I have there, that trail's in the ditch there. What we're doing is packing the snow in that trail, and in the spring at this time of year, the water ain't getting away because the snow is packed. And the other concern I have there is the trail is on the road, off the road, on the road, off the road. And it's going down the wrong side of the road when you start going down Cutler Lake Road there along by the Wiesners. So if you got them snow machines there with them halogen lights there, you're blinding the operators of vehicles there in that area. So that is my concern. It's a safety issue there. And I don't think there should be a trail on that road there. If you're going to drive, you drive on the right-hand side of that road there, and you got to obey all the rules and regulations. You can't stop snow machines from driving on the road, but you shouldn't have to have a groomer there, groom a trail in the ditch there, which is doing damage to our infrastructure there. And most of the places there, it's on the road and off the road when you start down Cutler Lake Road. So why are we?
I agree with you
having a trail?
100%. Leslie, I agree. I've been here 14 years, and all I can say is since the trail has been installed, there's a lot more skidoo traffic. And as you say, they go on the road anyways, but there's a heck of a lot more now with the trail. And it is. Sorry?
And some of the landowners there will not let snow machines on their property there. Like Mr. Bell, he posted it there, no snow machines on his property, because I guess he was having problems.
Yeah, I didn't mention that, but I did talk to Mr. Bell, and he didn't mind if I did, but he approached the groomer operator to not go on his property because it was plowed and they were damaging it. So, and actually I didn't mention either that if you look on the Facebook for the Espanola Trail Plan, you'll see a number of areas where they've lost their permission because of abuse. So I have a snow machine. I've had one most of my life, and it's just the way the operators are fast, the machines go faster, and the safety hazard is the number one thing for me. You have a question?
If I could comment on that. First of all, it's called the Espanola Trail Plan, but I think there's many people from our township that belong to it. And so we can't say that it's got nothing to do with Massey people and it's all Espanola people. I know all kinds of people from Beauchamp subdivision that go up, down, and through that trail. But I do have issue with trails on the side of the road like that. There's one right beside Lee Valley Road in front of Beauchamp, the backing on the houses of Beauchamp subdivision. And at times during the winter, you can't tell what's the trail and what's the road. And it's actually a little scary, you know. If you go over with your wheel into the trail, it's like you're gonna go for a ride. Now, what's the alternative? They're gonna drive the roads, so they're gonna go by no matter what. The noise isn't gonna go away, I don't think. Maybe the traffic will go down. But you're still going to have snow machines going by your place, Robert, unfortunately.
I don't have a problem with that. And like I said earlier, I've been here 14 years and the trail's been here 3. I don't think they need the trail, number one. And number two, when the trail wasn't there, there was a lot less traffic, a lot less snow machines.
Because what happens...
Listen.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry? No, I was just going to say, yes, I hear traffic here in the summer, I hear quads, but I think the biggest observation I made, and I'm prepared to live with the noise. I have to. I don't have a choice in some cases. Yeah, but the biggest observation, is the speed of the operators, the areas they're traveling. There's too much. There's traffic there, there's pedestrians, there's children, notwithstanding the damage that it's caused.
They have speed limits on their trails and nobody follows them. Nobody drives snow machines at speed.
Yeah, I don't have any, I understand that. I read their regulations and it's just baloney.
Yeah, you're right. It's baloney. And all we can do is ask the OPP to patrol it more, but frankly, I don't think they patrol it a whole lot.
No, I guess what my request here is that they don't make the trail.
Well, we can look at that. The other thing that happens though, when they drive on the road, then they drive into the ditch every 200 meters or so to cool off their suspension and their sliders. And so I think we're always going to have them in the ditch, but if we don't pack the trails down, then maybe, maybe we're alleviating some of that. I don't know.
But I guess my whole point is the trail wasn't here up until the last 3 years. So why need the trail now? There's lots of trails. The trail should be in the bush, and this trail has caused a hazard in more ways than one. And there's potential there for somebody to get hurt, and there's potential for even an operator to get hurt. So that's my concern. I mean, I understand you can never stop them from using the road. I understand that. But living here the last 14 years, I know there's more operators now with the trail.
So a question, because frankly, I don't remember approving that trail. If it's on a road allowance, did we approve it or did they just go ahead and do it?
I don't know. That's why I approached the council, I assume.
I'm asking the clerk and the mayor here.
I couldn't tell.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't tell you, Kevin.
On the staff report that you were given with Mr. Stanky's correspondence, I just gave you a copy of the resolution that was passed in 2021 that confirmed the use by the club of Burns Crossover, Miller, River Valley, Hunt, and Cutler Lake road allowances for the purpose of their trail system.
Okay.
That was originally given in 2002, and they came to us in 2021 and asked for an updated approval because of their paperwork that they needed to supply.
And that was road allowance.
It says road allowance.
Yeah.
Road allowance is 66 feet.
Yeah.
But Kim, they've only had the trail there for the last 3 years.
Okay, well, I guess council will have to discuss that. And I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's done for this year. And we'll have to review it.
Oh, I understand that 100%. I'm only approaching council for that. I have no intentions of talking to people that run the trail plan. I don't want their communication, to tell you the truth. Some of them might be a little vindictive if they understand that what I'm proposing.
Yeah, you don't know what you're getting into sometimes, but it's true. A number of trails have been closed down because people are abusing private property. I know.
I think you have pretty good justification as a council, though, to ask them to not use this trail, because notwithstanding the safety concerns, you spend a lot of money on the drainage, and I walk down there now, it's better than it's ever been. And it's snow, just like Leslie is saying, it is snowpack now, and it's not draining like it should. So that's I think that's a good justification right there. Anyway, that's your area. Just my idea, and I'm just happy that you gave me the opportunity to present this, because it's like I said, I spent my career in mining, and a big part was safety, and I just see a lot of safety things there.
Thanks for
I
coming
do
Along
agree.
with the, sorry?
Thanks for coming forward.
I was
Rob.
just going to,
You're welcome. Thanks for
So
your time.
yeah,
No,
I was
thank
just,
you.
Yes?
Go ahead, Pat.
okay, so I was just going to say that in the 80s, I ran my sled dogs on that trail, on the River Valley Trail, for years and years and years. And when we met snow machines, they usually slow down. It was not a problem. But as far as the safety issues are concerned, I'm definitely on your side, Robert.
Thank you.
I don't think River Valley Road's the issue. It's.
But Hunt Road goes right on.
Well,
Hunt
I
Road
know
goes
that,
right
I
onto
know
River
that.
Valley.
I know that. I use that trail all the time with my quad and whatnot. Because, but, you know, where do they go from there? They have to go down Hunt Road, Cutler Lake Road to head up towards Cutler Lake and Moose Lake and whatnot.
Well, they make a circle, the Espanola people. They go around by Fox Lake Road. And then they,
Yeah,
and they get onto the old railroad track that used to go to Manitoulin. And that's their circle. So
Yeah.
if they wanted to still go to the lakes, they can still go via Fox Lake Road. They don't need this road. The Espanola people, that is.
Well, again, Robert, it isn't just the Espanola people. There's all kinds of people from our township that use the trail.
Okay, I guess I digress there, but I know that people can come from all over Ontario or Canada, but
Yeah, it's part of their trail plan, and it's Espanola and
probably
district.
taken.
But we're gonna have to look at whether we want to allow that anymore, you know. We'll see.
Okay,
what
thank you.
culverts look
Thank
like
you.
when the snow is gone and whatnot. There's definitely a safety concern, so.
Robert, we'll get
Okay.
back to you there. We'll get back to you, Robert, in regards to a response of your concerns there.
Okay, well, thanks again for giving me the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kim, is the other delegation,
I do believe Sylvana Espinosa is on the screen. And she should be able to speak. Hmm. Hello, Sylvana?
I see his name, but I don't see him.
Well, and I can't unmute her like it's done. So she doesn't have a little,
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Not
see your
respond-
name in the,
yeah.
well, in regards to the resolution, there's nobody got a concern there with getting involved with this, eh?
Nope,
With what?
the garden.
The celebration of Centennial Canada Horticulture for 2022, Year of the Garden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
looks
I'll read-
fine to me.
yeah, and I like the motion that Kim wrote up. It was very good, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I'll read the long one there. Whereas the Year of the Garden 2022 celebrates the centennial of Canada horticultural sector, and whereas gardens and gardening contribute to the quality of life of our municipality and create safe and healthy places where people can come together. And whereas the Year of the Garden 2022 will highlight this and celebrate the important contribution of gardeners, our local gardening organizations, horticultural professional, and local horticultural businesses, which contribute to the garden culture and experience of the pandemic. And whereas Communities in Bloom, in collaboration with the Canadian Garden Council, invites all municipalities to celebrate the Year of the Garden. Be it resolved that the Township of Sables-Spanish River proclaims 2022 as the Year of the Garden in celebration of the contributions of gardens and gardening to the development of our country, our municipality, and the lives of our citizens in terms of the health, quality of life, and environmental challenges. And that June the 18th, 2022 be recognized as Garden Day in the Township of Sables-Spanish Rivers as a legacy of Canada Year of the Garden 2022. And that the Township of Sables-Spanish River is committed to be a garden-friendly community supporting the development of its garden culture. Nobody got a concern with that resolution?
No, sounds
Can I have a mover
fine.
and a seconder?
Pat will move.
Pat will move it.
Second.
Edith will second it there.
Mhm.
Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl?
Oh,
Cheryl's on mute.
no, it's okay. I'm unmuting her. She muted herself.
Yeah. Dale,
I'm in favor.
motion carried. Mrs. Klug has done an excellent job over the years for this municipality when it comes to gardens there. Ruth, their finance committee report, you want to go ahead with that? Kim?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see where Ruth went. She left. So we had the finance committee meeting on Monday night. Yeah,
Somebody,
Darcy's back.
she's coming back. She must have had bad reception.
yeah, we have lots of freezing rain here too. So
Yeah.
hopefully we hang
I've
in
been
there.
bumped, yeah, I've been bumped off a few times too. Kim.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Ruth, you're on, Ruth.
She's frozen.
Oh,
Perfect smile.
I was gonna say, this is a good picture.
so basically we had the finance committee meeting on Monday night, and we just tried to tie up a few of the matters that had been put out for review. The fire truck replacement proposal that had been given by Fire Chief Ramsey was reviewed by the committee, and the committee decided to increase the present budget of $150,000 to $225,000 to provide for the purchase of a used pumper tanker. The committee would like to give the fire chief authority to act on the municipality's behalf when negotiating an offer for purchase, and then it can come to council for final endorsement. But this would be if it was a time-sensitive matter where he had to act on one in order not to lose the opportunity to purchase it. So Ruth is back and she can continue.
Okay, I'm sorry if I lose
okay.
everyone again. It's really bad. So, okay, so Kim went over the fire truck replacement. We also had, we spoke about the water treatment plant and what we were going to do to rectify that situation. And we came up with the building inspector come up with the proposal for the canopy. So initial budget we received from Aqua was 80,000. So this budget is more around 55,000 for this solution. And I did, since the meeting, send that on to Aqua as well to get their, just to have their thoughts on the design that we've proposed. Then we discussed the AZ training.
And the committee decided they'd not be in favor of providing this at this time. They were open to the idea, as our working conditions policy states, to reimburse a portion or the cost of the training if an employee wanted to complete it with conditions attached, and those conditions would be an agreement for a lengthened employment stay, not so that we're going to train an employee and have them leave our employment. The roads training budget was previously increased an additional $5,000 to allow for some training in this department, and it will remain in the 2022 operating budget, and the AZ training will be discussed at a later date at Public Works. And council or the committee had recommended that the mileage component of the council remuneration policy be increased to $1,500 per year, and also that our municipal mileage rate be increased to 54 cents per kilometer from the existing 46 cents that was established in 2016. The treasurer was directed to prepare the budget with a 3.5% increase in tax rates over 21. The Finance Committee recommends that Council give notice at the April 13th Council meeting of its intention to adopt the 2022 budget at its meeting of April 27th. A resolution of Council will be prepared to this effect, and proper notice will be provided as per our notice bylaw. The committee moved into closed session for personnel matters, and then the regular meeting of the Finance Committee was adjourned.
Any questions, anybody?
No.
Hearing none there, be it resolved, the attached Finance Committee meeting report of March 21st, 2022 be accepted. Mover and a seconder.
I'll
Pat will
motion,
move. Okay.
Pat will move it there. Kevin will second it.
I'll second.
Kevin, for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. In regards to the municipal mileage there, be it resolved that the municipal mileage compensation rate be increased from 46 cents per kilometer to 54 cents per kilometer. A mover and a seconder.
I'll move that.
Kevin will move it. Seconder,
I'll second it.
Edith.
Yeah,
Kevin, for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
in favor.
Pat,
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. In regards to the volunteer firefighter, anybody got any concerns in regards to that?
Nope.
Hearing none, be resolved that Sean Allen be appointed as a firefighter at station number 4, subject to the usual terms and conditions.
I'll make that motion.
Dale will move it there.
Yes.
Seconder,
Pat,
Pat will second it there. Kevin, for, against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Kim, you want to talk about the engineering there, the RFP there?
Okay, so council had decided that the bridge on Lee Valley Road at the Burns crossover intersection, bridge known as the Caldwell Bridge, would be replaced this summer. So we sent requests for proposals out to 3 consulting firms that normally do this type of work, requesting for engineering services for the replacement of an existing load-limited timber concrete bridge structure on Lee Valley Road. So the lump sum fee was requested, and the services included preparation of plans and specifications, estimates outlining replacement options or alternatives for council approval, preparation of detailed engineering plans and specifications and tender documents, and the provision of contract administration and inspection services to the completion of the project. A timeline or anticipated schedule was to be provided to facilitate this construction project in 2022. We received 2 proposals, and they include their anticipated project deliverables pursuant to this criteria above. WSP Canada quoted $69,425 based on a construction time period of 6 weeks. So it's less fees for a longer duration will be adjusted if a shorter completion date takes place. And they have in-house staff to carry out all their geotechnical soils investigations. Crescent Engineering quoted $89,500, and that was based on a 4-week construction period. So if it has to go more than 4 weeks, there'll be more fees for additional actual time worked. And they will subcontract for geotechnical soils investigation. So the recommendation is to have WSP be awarded this engineering contract for this project.
Kim, you mentioned there timber concrete. Are we going with a bridge, or are we looking at culvert, or what do we?
What we're doing, what that said was that we were just replacing the timber concrete bridge that's there. They have to, the engineers will provide options or alternative structures for the township to approve before it goes anywhere. So it will be
Okay,
a 1 culvert or a multi-culvert or another bridge. They'll bring you their designs and recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I read there, but you said timber. I was wondering there.
Yeah.
Any
I
questions,
would-
anybody?
No, I'd really like to see a concrete culvert. That way we're over and done with for a long time. Anyway, and I mean, I'm looking at this based on construction time of 6 weeks and based on construction time of 4 weeks. That has no bearing on the actual time it's actually going to take, right?
No, it's going to take what it takes, but that's the time frame that each one of these proposals had assumed the construction period would be. But you're right, it's all going to depend on supply of materials and weather and any other
Weather being the
factors.
big one.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something they can make a concrete firm proposal on.
Yeah.
And I'd like to really like to see it be a cement culverts because of the acidic water in that drain.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely give them our preferences and they can
Yeah.
we'll work with that. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, resolution reads, be it resolved that the RFP for engineering services for the bridge replacement Caldwell Bridge be awarded to WSP Canada Incorporated at a bid price of $69,425 plus HST. Mover and a seconder.
I'll move that, Kevin.
Kevin will move it.
I'll second
Seconder.
it. Dale,
Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
in favor.
motion carried. Okay, go ahead, Kim, there, please, sir.
Well, I have added some correspondence from John Mooney onto the agenda with respect to his previous correspondence with his request for compensation from the township. Included in the previous emails, I've also had John Lindley put together a summary of the Harrow drain that relates to Mr. Mooney's drainage issues, and I had attached that email for you as well. So what I've done is I've given council the budget sheet that Mr. Mooney had originally provided. I have since providing you with this staff report, I've had a telephone conversation with Mr. Mooney to try to decipher what in this budget, this crop budget sheet would apply to him. And so it's been marked up as you have it attached there to show what would most likely apply to what he does with his crops. This is not his budget. He does not have the true cost of what he has incurred, but this is the budget that he said would apply to his scenario. I've also given council copies of emails, the most recent one, March 18th, from our drainage superintendent with regards to the history and the process of what had transpired over the last year and a half over this.
What did you attach that to, Kim, if you don't mind me asking?
That was to the first staff report that was given with your agenda package.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the first attachment.
I could speak on this. The bottom line is there's still problems there, and it's still winter/spring. I don't know how we can reassess anything right now. And while I don't, how would I say this? I'm not saying that Mr. Mooney shouldn't receive any compensation, but until we get to the bottom of what the problem is, whether it's the drain or it's a problem with Mr. Mooney's property, then we can't really justify giving any compensation. And once we figure out what the real problem is, we may very well compensate Mr. Mooney. But I don't think we're at that point yet. And it's fine for the drainage superintendent to say everything's fine, but obviously everything's not. There's still drainage issues down there and we got to figure it out.
I know that the drainage superintendent had indicated that there would be further surveying. He believes that that whole drain needs to be reevaluated because of its age and everything that's grown in the meantime. But he did say that he believes that the Mooney property is not systematically tiled, and in viewing surrounding properties on Google Earth indicates the differences. The Mooney property is susceptible to poor drainage because of the topography of the property and parts of the field that do not have good drainage outlet.
So is that the official report from the drainage superintendent?
Yep.
Yeah, it was in our package.
Yeah, I don't
That's what
see it.
that's what
read
I
it.
understood was that maybe, I mean, we can do further investigating, but it sounds like the drain was working as it's supposed to there by that property, but the field is not draining the way it should into the drain.
Yeah.
But also John Lilly says that there are other issues with the drain, so.
But
so I
not
don't-
there by the Mooney property.
No.
You know what I'm?
Yeah, Mr. Lindley is saying that
Or there
the,
may be other problems, but not right by the Mooney property.
yeah,
It's
and
working as
Mr.
it
Lindley,
should there.
yeah, and Mr. Lindley is saying that the property is not drained properly. That was his assessment. That there's issues in the drain tiles that John put in the fields. And if they didn't get an engineer, which was many years ago, that was the rules, that you had to get an engineer to tile your fields. And if that wasn't necessary at that time, then, you know, it might not have been tiled properly. I went to an engineer, I went to a tile drain conference in North Bay a few years ago. And it was brought forward there that when fields, you're supposed to get an engineer to properly take care of the drainage tiles that are being put into a field.
I mean, we can
So-
investigate further if that'll get us anywhere.
Well,
But-
we need to do something. Mr. Mooney wants an answer. and-
Well,
and I think
according
we
to
o-
what, according to what the
We never
inspector
met.
says,
Yeah, but we never gave him an answer, so.
Did
so-
Mr.
Um,
Mooney, he got a copy of the report too, that talks about the topography of his field and indicating the suggestions he should do for improve? Okay.
Mr. Lindley, there's ones in here where he contacted him. I don't know, remember exactly which one. He was contacted, he just wasn't contacted about compensation because we didn't know about
Right,
what the problem was, but
right.
I mean, there was lack of communication, I think, on both sides there, or delay in communicating, maybe.
Well, yeah, I think we kind of missed the boat at certain times. We might not have gotten this fixed up as quickly as we would have liked, but Mother Nature intervenes at times and whatnot, but
Well, and we had to wait for the drain inspector,
yeah, and I'm not,
because we can't do
I'm
anything
not-
without
yeah.
his okay.
yeah, I'm not completely impressed with him. It seems like we
Well,
waited on him a lot, so. But the bottom line is we got to make a decision. Do we compensate Mr. Mooney or not? Do we want to look into whether this drain is affecting his field more, or do we just want to end it here and refuse his claim for compensation?
So I think it should end here.
I think the
And those-
interpretation of the report, right, kind of supports that. Like the
Yeah.
interpretation of the report says that, you know, the inspection of the drain, the way it was read, the drain is working fine. But on top of that, additional stuff needed to be done for the field for it to all work together, like
Yeah.
as a unit. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have to have both elements in place for it to work all together. I'm not familiar with how far back this goes or time-wise, like if there was a time the drain didn't work at all, but that report that was read tonight sounds like this drain is working in this section, but these other elements need to be in place with topography and proper engineered tiles for it to work. Yeah, I don't know.
But it all started there with the trouble there that one culvert was 14 inches too high. The culvert on Brohard Road was not even moved there. It was at the right level. So what it did is back the water up into the field of Mooney's there and Emery's there. And that's where the start of the problem started.
We
And
don't
then-
know where the problem started, though. That's the problem of the whole thing, is we don't know how it all started. We just know one year, all of a sudden, the field is flooded. And now the drain inspector, he gave us a solution. We thought it was taken care of. And still the field is not draining properly, but it's not to do with the drain itself. It's to do with the actual field drainage.
No, it's got the drain there. If you looked at it there last fall, the water's still laying in the ditch there in the drain there. So what's got to be done there, it's got to be lowered going west there.
Yes,
Gonna
but it's,
Clean farther down.
I know that he had, the drainage superintendent had to acknowledge that there should be further surveying done on the drain.
Yeah.
I mean, the email of October 21 that I can read it to you if it kind of gives a background as to what you're talking about.
mhm.
And he's saying that they conducted a site review and final inspection on completed work by Mayu Construction on October 20th, reviewed with John Mooney as well and discussed completed maintenance works. The municipal drain A was cleaned out as per the proposed work and water is draining. The culverts at Hammond Road were lowered and the ditch cleaned out along road up to and across Brohart Road and up to the D drain tile outlet. The tile repair work was completed as well. The Brohart culvert is showing the water to be flowing and the drain D outlet is exposed and flowing. The adjacent properties are all draining well. However, this Mooney property is retaining water and is quite wet. The property, if systematic tile is not working, and there are several low areas that are ponding. We are going to survey further downstream on drain A from where the maintenance has been completed downstream to Lacloche Road culverts and downstream to the rock chute area to check for grade through the entirety of the system to check with original report grades. We intend on being there to survey this, conduct this survey work.
And that was dated what, Kim?
October 26th of 21.
Okay, and so we haven't really had a further report since then. So, like I said, I don't think we're done here.
No, in
Until
that
we
area
can-
is-
Sorry,
No,
until
in
we
that-
can, until we can really say that this drain is working the way it should and that it's not affecting his field. Because
But is Lindley not saying that it's working by Mooney's property?
well, it drains a big
Like-
thing.
I realize that. But you have to have your weeping tile going into the drain in order for it to work all together. Like Edie was saying, it all has to work together. I mean, we
Right.
can wait until the weather is better and Lindley can go back in and have another look. I'm not ready to compensate now because according to what
Nope.
Mr. Lindley's saying, and he's the professional again that we pay for consulting.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
thinks it's a field problem, but if you want to wait and do another thing, another survey, that's fine.
I'd like another report from him. I want to make sure of this, you know. And the compensation's another story. That'll be something else we'll have to decide when we get a final decision. But that's my opinion only.
So can we
So-
sit on these two? Can
So
we sit
you
on
want
these two?
me to direct John Lindley to follow up with this in the spring then, when weather conditions
Sure.
permit?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Good idea.
Oh. Am I the only one freezing?
Nope.
Everybody's
No.
frozen.
No,
We're taking turns.
Everybody froze on my screen there for a minute.
well,
Yeah,
I got bumped off a couple of times, Cheryl. So.
yeah, me too.
Darling.
Earlier today.
Bumped off. Oh my God.
So Kim,
Yeah, that's
so
terrible.
Kim, could you let John Mooney know what's going on there?
Yes, I will for sure.
We'll do
Okay.
further investigation then.
Okay, in regards to the cleanup days, anybody got any concern with the days?
Nope. Looks,
No,
Looks good.
yeah,
Okay, hearing none, be it resolved that the 2022 cleanup days be scheduled for May the 6th and 7th, 13th and 14th, and September the 9th and the 16th, 2022. Mover
I'll
and
make that,
seconder,
I'll make that motion.
Dale, seconder,
Cheryl,
Cheryl, Kevin, for or against,
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl,
favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Okay, Kim, go ahead with the Heritage Park there.
What I circulated to council was a report that the Parks and Recreation Coordinator had prepared. There was no quorum for their meeting last week, but the following, I gave council information for update and just so that you would have it in a timely manner. Items requiring council approval would be dealt with on the council agenda. And so the Heritage Park opening is number 6 on that report that had been discussed by the members that were there. We're not approving any Parks and Rec Committee meeting report because there was no quorum to make an official meeting. So this is just a recommendation and it's on council agenda now. The opening of the washrooms is to be brought up at council with the recommendation that they not be opened and portable washrooms be installed instead. This recommendation is based on the vandalism and illegal activities that take place in them.
That's unfortunate because it's a beautiful building.
Yeah, so then we have a wasted building.
Yeah, I think we should open it.
Yeah, I think so
So
too.
do I. So do I.
We have space, let's open it.
We're
Yeah.
gonna, I mean, we can open it. They won't be kept open 24/7 because
Nope.
there's nobody to look after it. They're gonna have to be open when there's, whenever there's working hours of some staff.
So they would be open.
Yeah, every day, all
Monday-
day. Yeah,
Monday to Friday.
Well, the
Well, they
students
could-
work on the weekends, Kevin.
yeah, they could be
Oh,
open on
do
the
they?
weekends as
Okay,
well.
perfect.
but-
No, the students don't work on the weekend.
What?
The
Some of them do,
students-
Cheryl.
They
Yeah,
already,
some- Yeah, they have to water the plants.
the schedule has been that students rotate and they work the
Yeah.
mornings each weekend for every second weekend or something, but
Mhm.
And whatever, if there's damage in there, we'll fix it.
yeah, it's just that we hate to see our students have to deal with used needles and things like that.
Mhm.
Because
Condoms,
that is what is in there.
sexual activity,
Yes.
Yeah.
let alone other stuff.
So well, then we're gonna have to equip them for that.
Sorry?
Well, if they're gonna, if that's what they have to deal with, if they have to deal with needles and everything else, then we're gonna have to equip them with proper PPE to deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think it's important that Heritage Park washrooms be open. You know, porta potties don't do it for me. And I also had a request. The mural on the wall, which I guess we used for advertising space for merchants or something. Students from Espanola High School would like to paint a mural on there. symbolizing, you know, the fabric of our township, logging, rivers, stuff like that. So, I mean, that's another topic altogether, but it just brought it back in my mind there. So, but I definitely would like to see the washrooms back in there.
Okay, will be part of the opening spring plan.
So I guess the mural would be a discussion for recreation. Is that
Yeah.
a park thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay, next meeting.
Okay, Kim, near the planning.
yeah. Okay, so we have a consent application in Harrow Township on La Cloche Lake. The purpose of the application is to provide for a lot addition in the resource recreation zone to an existing undersized lot. The lot addition will result in the lot area conforming to the zoning bylaw, and it will have in excess of the minimum 1 hectare size. The remainder of the property will be approximately 18.4 acres, and it's in the rural zone. So first off, we're looking at a existing undersized lot, requesting a lot addition, which will give it its lot size that will be in conformity to the official or to the zoning bylaw. So we are, by looking at this application, it is an improvement to that property because it's not any longer going to be an undersized lot. So the municipal plan review was done. There was not really any features that stuck out to be of concern. M&R features on our mapping indicates a deer wintering area, but when the M&R had been consulted on this for a previous consent application in that area to create a lot, they had suggested that new lot creation where the intended use would result in substantial clearing for development would have an impact on deer habitat, that this be looked at. But this application is for a lot addition where there is existing building development and clearing has already taken place. So we don't see this to be an issue. There's no other municipal plan review matters that would stand out. The official plan says that the property receiving the severed portion is resource recreation. The property providing the lot addition is rural district. So the official plan provides for both permanent and residential uses and recreational oriented land uses in the resource recreation district. It also says that no new lot creation is proposed, therefore capacity on the lake is not increasing. Section 410.4, council encourages undersized lots to be consolidated with adjacent lands to create larger lots, which may then have the potential for development. And lot additions are provided and are allowed where the property is going to be in irregular shape. This lot addition will make that happen, but it's being done to avoid interference with any access to the existing driveways. They're trying to keep everything so that no access will be impeded. Access is by easement over third-party lands, and there's no direct access to a year-round maintained road. It's all seasonal. The zoning is split zoning. It is also resource recreation, and the remainder is rural. And the proposed lot addition will allow the receiving undersized property to conform to zoning standards for lot area.
Which at the end of the day, there's going to be a bigger unit on that property. Which was a benefit there as well.
Yeah.
For the municipality. Any questions, anybody? Hearing none there. Be it resolved that the consent application file number C-22-01 is applied for by Wayne Kutschke on behalf of Laurie Ann Lamb be provisionally approved this 23rd day of March 2022. The land and subject application composed of land in the township of Harrow, concession 4, lot 11, parcel 8648. The purpose of this consent is to allow for a lot addition to the concession 3 and 4, lot 11, plan SR 3084, part 1, parcel 21-113, 53R-10645, Part 1, 53R-11417, Part 10 in Harrow Township. It is hereby provisionally approved with the schedule of conditions attached here too. No deviation. The official survey, if required, must not deviate substantially from the application. The applicant must provide a copy of the draft reference plan to the municipality. Administration fee, that $100 administration fee be paid to the municipality. No arrears, that there are no arrears owing to the municipality by the applicant unless payment is guaranteed by the applicant's solicitor upon closing. Note to approval, that pursuant to section 3-10-3-6 of the official plan, it shall be acknowledged that the municipality will not be responsible for the repair or maintenance of this private road, and that the municipality is under no obligation to provide fire protection, police, ambulance, or other emergency services. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Dale, you move it there, and
Yeah.
Kevin will second it there. Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Before we read the bylaws, Kim, you want to give a brief in regards to appointment assistant fire chief and the appointment of a fire training officer?
Sure. So council received a copy of the fire chief's report, and in that report, they outlined human resources recommendations. So we needed an assistant chief for station number 2, further to the resignation of the one that was there. And council must approve this by bylaw, as it is an assistant chief is an officer. The promotion of Regé Laronde from captain to assistant chief is being recommended. And we have a bylaw that will address that. The training officer had been Blair Ramsey, and further to Mr. Ramsey's promotion appointment as fire chief, there was interviews for a training officer to be appointed to take his place. And council has been given some information with regards to promotion of Alex Shea from Station 5. He has a wealth of knowledge and experience in developing courses and curriculum for MNRF and Sioux College. And we have a bylaw that will appoint both of those gentlemen, as well as the bylaw that will enter into an agreement with Crescent Engineering for the bridge and culvert inspections that council approved at the last meeting.
Okay, resolution reads, be it resolved, the following bylaws be read a first and second time. Bylaw 2022-15 being a bylaw to enter in agreement with bridge and culvert inspections. Bylaw 2022-16 being a bylaw to amend the bylaw to appoint assistant fire chief. Bylaw 2022-17 being a bylaw to appoint a fire training officer. A mover and a seconder?
Pat will move.
Pat will move it there. Seconder?
Cheryl?
Cheryl? Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor.
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl?
In favor?
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried. Be it resolved, the following bylaws be read a third and final time, passed in open council. Bylaw 2022-15 being a bylaw to enter into agreement for a bridge and culvert inspections. Bylaw 2022-16 being a bylaw to amend the bylaw to appoint an assistant fire chief. Bylaw 2022-17 being a bylaw to appoint a fire training officer.
I'll
Moving
make
to
that
seconder.
motion. I'll move it.
Dale,
Les.
Dale, move it. Seconder.
Pat will,
Pat will second it. Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor?
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Before we go into closed session, Kim, you got anything else there?
No, I don't.
Before we go into closed session, I'd like to bring something up because we're gonna lose people after closed session, so. For a few years now, the library has had a land acknowledgement that we speak of at the beginning of every meeting. DSAB has the same land acknowledgement, and I think it's high time that we have a land acknowledgement for our council meetings. So I'll read you what I have here, or Kim, if you can allow me to share the screen, I'll put it up.
Okay.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
Can everybody see that? Land acknowledgement for Sables-Spanish rivers?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll read it. And I mean, this can be worked on by the clerk and council, but it basically says, we begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are on land that's been inhabited by Anishinaabe nations for tens of thousands of years. We would like to acknowledge as a council that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Sagamok Anishinaabe, and we would like to give thanks for sharing this land. Today, this meeting's place is still the home to many Anishinaabe, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to unite, live, work, and play on this land. That's it. I'll stop sharing now. So can I have your thoughts on this? I think it's high time we do this.
I agree. I think everything, any training I've been taking through the tourism industry, it's done before anything else is done as well. And theirs was quite long and inclusive. And you're right, it's being seen everywhere now. And I think as a council and
I find we're kind of,
I can't hear you.
unfortunately, we're kind of late to the game on this, especially considering our close relationship with our neighbors, but it's never too late.
You haven't cleared,
So-
Kevin, you haven't cleared your screen. I've still got your agenda up here.
Okay, well, it's up. Okay, stop share just a minute.
There we go. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So how does everybody feel about that? Are we together on that?
Kevin, is there any reason to have the 10,000 years in the first paragraph? Because most of them just acknowledge
Well,
that.
not necessarily. Yeah, that was an example.
Yes.
Like we can rework it. We can look at different acknowledgements and rework it. That was one example. Part of that came from DSAB's acknowledgement. But I really would like to get this done.
I agree. I think that it would be nice to have an acknowledgement considering the proximity.
Yeah.
Especially.
Tammy used to have that at, when we were meeting with Sagamok pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We did do that at our joint meeting. Maybe Tammy could help out with that too. The proper wording.
I would kind of
You know
like,
what I mean?
I would kind of like for us to do it on our own. so
I
that
agree.
We don't, you know.
We can,
then
we
they'll
can work
come.
on that and we can give a draft to council.
Sure.
Thank you.
See what you can, you go online, different municipalities have acknowledgements and see what you can find and we can look at it and move forward on that. Good,
And
thank
one
you.
thing, sorry, Kevin, I have one thing before closed session. And Kevin's topic brought it to mind. I spoke to Chief Allen recently and Sagamok has not received an invitation to a meeting. I think that went back to September and I've asked about it. I don't want to
Yeah.
say time.
I can show you the emails. I had made a phone call and finally was able to speak with someone. So I asked if I could follow it up with an email, and I did. And then I followed up from that one as well. I have those. So it just wasn't getting through to the other channels, I suppose, but
So could we write a letter, a hard
Yeah.
letter to chief and council, please? 'Cause
yeah.
I've been hoping to have a meeting with them since September.
Yeah, no, it went, and I was told the first time that it wouldn't. I think I called them in August and they told me that under no circumstances would it be decided on until at least September 13th. I can
Yep.
remember that.
Yep.
Sure, we'll follow up.
Okay, if we can do a hard copy letter, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything else before we go into closed session?
One other thing for me, I was wondering if on our township website, we could make a post advertising that we do have a radon testing device. Again, the library used it and it wasn't outrageous. The numbers weren't outrageous, but they're high. And so
They're over the limit, are they not?
Yeah, we will have to get professional testing to decide what course of action we have on it.
When are you planning on bringing that to council, Kevin?
What do you mean?
Well, so that we can get somebody started on this, a professional to,
Well, the library CEO is going to do that on her own. She'll
Okay.
contact.
Librarian will do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a testing service. I have a number here from Algoma,
Okay.
Algoma radon testing and whatnot. But
Yeah,
Sooner
that's
the
our
better.
original one at the clinic too.
yeah, sooner the better.
yeah, and I mean, this thought that it's just around the rock in Massey doesn't fly. The park, Schutz Park had radon issues and they had to get a mitigating system and whatnot. So it's random, it's all over. Yeah, it seems to be more apparent around the rock and whatnot, certain pockets in Massey, but I encourage everybody to get their residents tested, or, borrow our meter or get some professional help. And we also have that radon testing thing coming up in later on this year, I believe. So it's all positive. We need to raise awareness in our community there. It's deadly, that stuff.
But it'd be also nice to know what's going on in Webwood and Walford as well, or see if there's any.
Yes, absolutely. Anywhere in our township.
Yeah.
I encourage all the residents of the township to get tested. I tested my own residents and and it's fine, but it's important to test it.
Kevin, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pat.
Well, I just wanted to say that we always got the minutes from the library board meetings
Yes.
previously, and we haven't had them for a very long time. So I was just wondering if Serena would be able to forward those to us.
Yes, I'll give her a reminder.
Okay,
Sorry
thank you.
about
That's okay.
that. I believe that's all I have. Thank you.
Anything else there, anybody, before we go closed session? Hearing none, be it resolved to move into closed session at 7:14 PM pursuant to section 239-2 of the Municipal Act to consider personal matters about identifiable individuals, including municipal and local board employees regarding municipal employees. Mover and a seconder?
Pat will move.
Pat will move it there. Seconder?
Cheryl.
I'll second.
Cheryl?
Oh,
Cheryl
Kevin.
will second it there. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for it.
Edith?
In favor.
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Cheryl?
In favor.
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried.
Room people.
Is it up and running?
Yes, it is.
Okay. In regards to the closed session, the resolution coming forward there, whereas Sean McCauley has successfully completed a 6-month probationary period as a temporary full-time Parks and Recreation Assistant, be it resolved that Sean McCauley be hereby recognized as a permanent full-time employee effective April the 1st, 2022. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move that, Cheryl.
I'll
Cheryl,
second it.
Kevin will second it there. Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat in favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale,
In favor.
motion carried. Nothing else for tonight, Kim, there?
No, I don't.
Okay, be it resolved that the time is 7:22 PM and this meeting be adjourned until the next regular meeting of the call of the chair. Mover and a seconder?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Sylvana is probably online here now.
Oh, we have the video, but I don't know where the sound is. Can you hear us?
No.
No,
No?
no.
They can hear us, they could nod.
Yeah. We can't hear you. You must have volume down somewhere.
You don't.
No,
They may not have the audio on that computer.
yeah, I don't know. I'll have to follow up with her tomorrow.
Okay. That's
Okay.
too bad.
Be it resolved.
She's
the
saying
time
that
is-
she can't hear. Yeah.
That's fine. We'll follow up.
Yeah,
Yeah, be it resolved the time is 7:23 PM and this meeting be adjourned till the next regular meeting of the call of the chair. A mover and a seconder?
I'll move.
Kevin will move it there. Seconder?
That'll second.
Pat will second it there. Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith?
In favor.
Pat?
Pat in favor.
Cheryl?
In favor?
Dale?
In favor.
Motion carried.
He's still struggling.
Before the snow leaves, if anybody's interested, could you go